I am a man, and I can do man things. Curt Short.
I am a man, and I can do man things, which is exactly what I told my wife when I came home from on a Friday night from a long business trip. And she started telling me, someone knocked at the door today and offered to paint our house for a really good price, and I think we should do it. If we need our house painted, I'll paint the house. You pick out the color. And next weekend when I come in, I'll paint the house. I ignored the skeptical look she had and went about my business. Next Friday when I got back, she said, well, I picked out the paint. I said, okay. I went down, and after talking to them about the size of the house, they determined I needed 2 5-gallon buckets. Sounded reasonable. And then the guy said, how about an airless paint sprayer? We rent them. I went, what? He said, an airless paint sprayer. All the pros use them. Give me one. Ha ha, give me one. Then he said, we also have this masking unit that you can take and mask the windows just pulling it off. I said, the pros? Yeah. Give me 2, 1 for each hand. He said, no, just 1. Okay. Saturday morning, bright and early, I'm ready to paint. I decided to start on an upper deck because, well, it wasn't too high, and I figured I'd get used to the gun. Now, he'd given me instructions, but I threw them away because, after all, you know. And I'm spraying away, and I'm masking, and I'm spraying, and I'm masking, and I'm spraying. I decided to go and check my work, and I walked back over, and there was quite a bit of stale running down the wall. Maybe I'd sprayed a little heavy, and I was using up quite a bit. What did he say about adjusting and flow control? I'll figure it out. So I'm adjusting it all. I got it. It's working. So I go back to where I left off, and I felt a little tug on it, and I gave a little more of a tug, and I turned around just in time to see that the hose was wrapped around the 5-gallon bucket, and it was going over. I'm pretty fast. I grabbed it, but not before a good deal of it spread out all over the deck and down through the deck. Now, below the deck is pretty much dirt and some firewood, and the barbecue, and the lawnmowers, and the garbage cans, and the bicycles. Oh, well, I'll take care of that later. I unhooked it, and I went back to spraying. How was I to know that that was exactly the time my wife decided to bring things down to the garbage? I think you could hear the screaming clear downtown. What is going on? There's stuff dripping down all over everything. It's everywhere. Terrible. I said, honey, just a slight mistake. I spilled a little paint. A little paint? It's everywhere. I said, I'll clean it up later. It's in my hair. It's on my clothes. I said, honey, shampoo, maybe twice. Get it all out. And by the way, once you're all prettied up, would you mind going down to the paint store and get another gallon, get a 5-gallon bucket, because I think they underestimated how much we're going to need. Everything was going well. The spray was working, this masker was working, and I was like a machine. I was going around behind the house, around to the other side of the house. Whew, man, was it looking good. And then I got to the front of the house. Now our house is built on a slope. And suddenly I realized it was a good deal taller than the rest of the house. And there were 2 huge windows. I don't know when those came. I don't remember those being that big. But there is no way I can get my ladder under or around those windows. Bam! I got an idea. If I could get a really wide 2x4 and duct tape it to the top of the ladder, could span the windows, and I could move to the left, mask and spray, move to the right, mask and spray. It would work. And it did. And I told my wife the crack on the window was probably a flaw in the original glass. Couldn't have been anything I did. Everything was going great the place was looking good until I looked up, and way at the top of that peaky ladder, peaky house, was an area that was uncovered. Now, how was I going to do that? Bam! Another idea. When I turned the compressor on, that hose got really stiff. So, if I could turn off the compressor, tape the trigger on the gun, leave it on top of the ladder, I could go down, turn the compressor on, run up the ladder, grab it, and use the stiffness to paint the house. You know, that should have worked. How was I to know when I ran up the ladder that it would bounce and that thing came off and I grabbed the hose and it was like a striking cobra. It's painting everything. It's painting roof, it's painting the ladder, it's painting me, everything. And I finally get it down and I rip the tape off. Oh my God. The part that I needed painted got painted. It worked just like I planned it. Well, there was a little overspray here and there, but hey, what the heck. So they insisted that I clean it all up before I left. I cleaned everything up and wrapped up the hose and put it away. And left me with about a half of a 5-gallon bucket of really goopy junk. I mean, there's paint thinner and paint, and I don't know what all's in there. I'm exhausted. I'm going to finish this up tomorrow. So I'm going to carry it over and put it underneath the deck. Now, when that root grew, I have no idea, but my right foot connected with that thing, and I went down like a sack of potatoes. The paint, this junk went in the air and down all over the top of me. I'm sitting there, I'm exhausted. I wanted to just cry. Then I realized how ludicrous I looked, and I started laughing. I said, this has got to be, if the neighbors are looking, oh my. So I just proudly left the bucket where it lay, marched up to the upper deck, stripped my clothes off, I left my undershorts on, walked into the house, ignoring my wife going, and said, I am a man, and I can do man things. And I went to the showers. Thank you, Mr. President.